My dear students, today we are going to present different types of questions and problems which is going to revise on the whole syllabus in this year, and we are going to discuss their explanation in details. So let us start. Next, when adding 10 milliliter of nitric acid, its concentration 1 molar, to 10 milliliter of calcium hydroxide, its concentration is 1 molar. Then adding phenol phthalate solution to the solution color, so it becomes what? Here blue, pale green, red, here colorless. Here if you think about the answer, it will be red color. Why? As the number of moles of each one is equal, but the concentration of hydroxide ion is twice the concentration of hydrogen ion. So the solution will be basic. So the phenol phthalate gives red color. Next one, when adding 10 milliliter of sulfuric acid to its concentration is 1 molar, to 10 milliliter of potassium hydroxide, its concentration is 1 molar. Then adding methyl orange solution to the solution color, so it becomes what? If you look at this question here, my dear students, we have equal number of moles by multiplying concentration and volume for sulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide. But sulfuric acid ionized, giving the twice number of hydrogen ion than the number of hydroxide ion produced from potassium hydroxide. So the solution will be acidic as greater concentration of positive hydrogen ion. So the methyl orange must turn red. So if you look at the choices here, orange, pale green, red, colorless, so the right answer will be red. Next question, the IUPAC name for the compound Br, C triple bond CCl, is it 1-bromo 2-chloroethene, 1-bromo 2-chloroethene, 1-chloro 2-bromoethane, 1-bromo 2-chloropropane? If you are going to write the correct name for this compound, so it will be 1-bromo 2-chloroethane as the IUPAC name. The order of alphabetic order is considered in this naming. Next one of the following compound, its IUPAC name is methyl ethanoate. Is it choice A, or choice B, or choice C, or choice D? The correct answer here, as if you write the chemical formula of the correct ester here, it will be CH3OOCC2H5. Its name is methyl propanoate, as the methyl group comes from methanol and the propanoic acid react with it. Next one, all these chemical formula don't represent ester except what? Is it choice A, or choice B, or choice C, or choice D? Yes, the right answer is D, as it contains COO ester group between two alkyl. Next one, in the following reaction, ethanol plus methanol, that sulfuric acid here concentrated at temperature 140 degree gives compound X plus water. What is the compound X? We know that the sulfuric acid here, when it reacts with alcohol, we have two temperature, 140 or 180. In 140, react 2 moles of alcohol and lose 1 mole of water from their combination, while at 180, removes water from 1 molecule of compound of alcohol, gives alkene. So here it gives the ether, as here the ethanol reacts with methanol and removing 1 water molecule from their combination. So the correct choice here from A, B, C, D, so it will be choice A, as the ether formed here comes from methanol and ethanol. So CH3OCH2 CH3 ethyl methyl ether. next one. Here, the pOH of 0.001 molar nitric acid solution is what? Is it 3, 1, 0, 11? If you solve this problem, it will be 11. Why? The solution for this problem. As we know, nitric acid ionized gives hydrogen ion and nitrate ion, and both of them the same concentration of nitric acid, 0.01 molar. So pH equal negative log of concentration of hydrogen ion. So pH equal here 3 as shown on the screen. Then pOH equal 14 minus pH. So 14 minus here 3 equals 11. Next problem. During the passage of an amount of electricity 0.2 Faraday in copper 2 sulfate solution, copper atomic mass 64, the mass of copper precipitate on the cathode is equal to what? Is it choice A, or choice B, or choice C, or choice D? If you solve the problem, it will be 6.4 gram. Next question. pH value for sodium acetate solution. Is it less than 7, greater than 7, or equal 7, or equal 3? Here the answer it will be greater than 7. Why? Because sodium acetate, when it ionizes, it gives a strong base and weak acid. So the solution is basic, so the pH is more than 7. Next one. Element which is highly reactive but resists the effect of air. Is it scandium, iron, chromium, zinc? If you think about it, yes, it will be chromium, as it gives non-porous layer of oxide formed on the surface of the chromium, which their molecules larger than the chromium molecules, and so prevent further reaction with air that we call passivity. Here, the atomic number of metal is the magnetic moment is 2 equal what? The atomic number, is it 23 or 29 or 21 or 22 or 28 or 27? If you think about it, yes, it will be number C. Why? We know that the magnetic moment is the number of unpaired electrons. So the explanation here, as we write the electron configuration of 22 and 28 as shown on the screen, we find that when the 3D sublevel contains 2 electrons, so the magnetic moment equal 2, and also when the 3D sublevel contains 8 electrons, the number of unpaired electrons is also 2, so 22 or 28 is the right answer. Next point. The following reaction is called what? C612O6 by yeast gives ethanol and carbon dioxide. Is it polymerization, esterification, saponification, fermentation? Yes, it will be fermentation reaction. Next point. Esters usually have pleasant odor. Therefore, they are used in manufacture of what? Artificial colors, flavors, polymers, all the previous. If you think about it, yes, it will be flavors. Next point. Glycine is considered from what kind of acid? Is it hydroxyl, aromatic, amino, fatty acid? It will be the answer here, amino acid. Next point. Insulin molecule is composed of 51 amino acid, and it is considered example of what? Protein, fats, carbohydrates, oils. If you think about it, yes, it will be proteins, which are polymers of amino acids. Next question. The alcohol produced from alkaline hydrolysis of this molecule, CH3, CH, CH3, CH2Cl, is considered what kind of alcohol? We know that the alkaline hydrolysis means the reaction of the alkyl halide in this molecule with sodium hydroxide. So removing the chloride and putting hydroxide ion, it gives here primary alcohol. So is it primary or secondary or tertiary or dihydric, so it gives primary alcohol. Next point. The alcohol produced from hydration of the following compound. CH3, CH3, double bond, CH2 is what kind of alcohol? Here, when adding water to this compound, hydration, that we are going to obey Marconic of rule, that we put the hydrogen here on the carbon-rich hydrogen and the hydroxide on the carbon-poor hydrogen. So the kind of alcohol here which is produced, here it will be, if you think about tertiary or secondary or primary or dihydric, yes, it will be tertiary, as the carbon attached to the hydroxyl group has no hydrogen attached to it. Next one, adding hydrobromic acid to propene, then alkaline hydrolysis of the product gives what? Here, when adding hydrobromic acid to propene, we apply Marconic of rule. And then alkaline hydrolysis here will change the bromine to hydroxyl group. So, is it primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol? If you write the equation, it will be secondary alcohol, as the carbon attached to the hydroxyl group contain one hydrogen atom. Next point, reaction of acetic acid in the presence of copper chromate followed by dehydration gives what? Here, the acetic acid, when reaction with copper chromate reduction, it gives ethanol. So dehydration here giving here will gives ethene, or here diethyl ether, depending on the temperature here. So you are going to choose which one from these choices, A, B, or C. So the right answer among them, it will be here ethene. Next point, adding hydrobromic acid to 2-methylpropene, then alkaline hydrolysis of the product gives what? Hydrobromic acid, when adding to propene, 2-methylpropene, we apply Marconic of rule, and then adding sodium hydroxide, alkaline hydrolysis. So the alcohol produced, if you write the equation, it will be tertiary alcohol. Next point. The boiling point of glycerol is higher than what? Ethanol, propanol, ethylene glycol, all of them. You will find the answer here, it will be all of them, as the greater number here of hydroxyl group that forms more hydrogen bonds. Next point, one of the following alcohol is secondary alcohol. Is it choice A, or choice B, or choice C, or choice D? If you think about the answer here, you have to look for the alcohols that containing the secondary alcohol, which carbon attached to hydroxyl has 2 carbon combined with it and 1 hydrogen. So the answer is B. Glucose C6H12O6 is an example of what? Polyhydroxy alcohol, polyhydroxy ketones, polyhydroxy aldehyde, or hydrocarbons. If you think about it, yes, it will be polyhydroxy aldehyde. Next point, all these alcohols are oxidized by acidified potassium permanganate except what? We know that the oxidation by acidified potassium permanganate for the alcohol for primary and secondary and not for tertiary. So if you look at the choices here, A, B, C, D, and write the structure formula of each one, and to find which one is tertiary alcohol, it will not be oxidized by potassium permanganate. So it will be 2-methyl-2-propanol. Next point, when 2-propanol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid at 180 degrees, what is obtained? We know that the sulfuric acid, when it reacts with alcohol at 180 degrees, it gives the alkene. as it removes one water molecule from the molecule. But what at 140 gives the ether. So here it gives the alkene. So what is the alkene here produced? If you write the equation, yes, it will be propene. Next one. Oxidation of alcohol of chemical formula CH3CH, CH3CH2OH gives what? We know that the oxidation of alcohol depending on the type of the alcohol result. So primary alcohol gives aldehyde, then acid. Secondary alcohol gives ketone, and tertiary alcohol is not oxidized. So if you look at the choice E, B, C, D, so we have to choose the choice C for primary alcohol. Next one. Catalytic hydration of the compound CH3CH, CH3CH, CH2. Then oxidation of product gives what? Aldehyde only, aldehyde then carboxylic acid, ketone, or ether. If you write the equation here, it gives here secondary alcohol, and then the oxidation would give to ketone. Next point. The reaction of 2-propanol with concentrated sulfuric acid is called what? Hydration, dehydration, neutralization, oxidation. Yes, the answer it will be dehydration. Next point. Which of the following can be used to distinguish between sodium sulfide and sodium sulfite? Is it dilute hydrochloric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, potassium chloride solution, A and B? Yes, the answer here, it will be A and B, because both of the hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, these acids are more stable than the acid of these anions of sulfite and sulfide. Next question. Magnetic iron oxide can be obtained from iron 2 oxide by what? Oxidation then reduction at 270, reduction then reacting with steam at 500 degree, oxidation then reduction at 370, or A and B. If you are going to write the equation for the reactions, you will find that the oxidation of iron 2 oxide gives here iron 3 oxide, then the reduction at 207 giving magnetic iron oxide. And also the reduction of iron 2 oxide into iron, then reacting with steam, water vapor gives also magnetic iron oxide. Next point. Iron 2 chloride can be obtained from the reaction of iron with chlorine gas by heating, dilute hydrochloric acid, oxidation then reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid, or A and B. If you think about the equations here, so the answer it will be dilute hydrochloric acid. Next one. Here A and B are two solutions of potassium salts. When adding sulfur nitrate solution to both of them, white precipitate is formed for both of them. Then by heating the precipitate of both of them, we found that the precipitate formed from A solution turns black, while the precipitation formed from B turns violet in sunlight. So the anions A and B salts are A sulfide bromide, sulfide chloride, thiosulfate iodide, or sulfate and phosphate. If you think about it, yes, it will be sulfite and chloride. Next one. Which of the following can be used to distinguish between sodium sulfite and sodium sulfite? Is it dilute hydrochloric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, potassium chloride solution, A and B? If you think about it, this answer, it will be A and B, as both of them, their acids are more stable than the acid of these anions. Next one. Which of the following can be used to distinguish between carbolic acid, and formic acid. We know carbolic acid is phenol. So we are going to differentiate between phenol and formic acid. So we use bromine water or sodium carbonate or acidified potassium permanganate or A and B. Yes, the answer it will be A and B. Bromine water reacts with phenol carbolic acid only, while sodium carbonate reacts with the acid which is gives effervescence, so we can know that the acid of them or carbolic or carbonic acid. Next point. Dry distillation for C5H11COONA in the presence of soda lime, what is produced? Is it hexene, pentene, hexane, pentane? If you write the equation, dry distillation, so it gives pentane. Next point. The chemical formula of ester obtained from reaction of propanoic acid with phenol. As we know, when the reaction with acid and alcohol or phenol, here the OH comes from the acid and H comes from the phenol and giving out water. So the ester formed, is it A or B or C or D? If you write the equation, it will be the choice C, which is phenyl propanoate ester. Next point. The IUPAC name of this compound, CH3O2, CCCH3. Here, if you write the name of it, is it 1,1,2,2-dimethyl-ethene, 1,2-diethyl-ethene, 2,3-dimethyl-2-butene, 2,3-dimethyl-3-butene, so it will be 2,3-dimethyl-2-butene. Next one. The IUPAC nomenclature for this compound, CH2Br, CHBr, CH2COH. Here, to name this compound, we have to start numbering from the carboxyl group. So its name, it will be, is it A or B or C or D? The right answer here will be 3,4-dibromobutanoic acid. Next point. The IUPAC nomenclature of this compound, CH3, CH, C2H5, CHOH, CH2Cl. If you write the name of this compound, is it A or B or C or D? If you write the name, it will be choice number C. Next question. When adding 10 milliliter of sulfuric acid, its concentration 0.5 molar, to 10 milliliter of potassium hydroxide, its concentration 1 molar. Then adding methyl orange solution to the solution, color becomes what? Here we use number of moles of sulfuric acid half the number of moles of the base, which is potassium hydroxide. But remember that sulfuric acid contains 2 moles of hydrogen per mole, while potassium hydroxide 1 hydroxide ion per mole of it. So the choice of the acid and the base here, that means that the number of moles of the acid will be less than the number of moles of the base by multiplying concentration times volume, but the number of mole of hydrogen ion of the acid twice that of hydroxide. So the solution here will be neutral. So the solution with methyl orange in a neutral, if choice A or B or C, so it will be orange as a solution is neutral, as the number of hydrogen ion equals the number of hydroxide ion. Next point. When 50 milliliter of 1 molar sulfuric acid to 50 milliliter of calcium hydroxide of unknown concentration containing drops of phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein is added to calcium hydroxide first. So it is in basic medium. So the color starts